What is up, guys? Usually back with another video, and today we're going to be discussing the AFC Championship matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, obviously, these two teams are some of the best teams currently in the NFL, and should ignore that. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, yeah, but today we're going to be discussing their rosters and who is the better team. Now, let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs roster. We got Patrick Mahomes. We got Isaiah Pacheco. We got Jerick McKinnon. We got McCole Hardman, Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kadarius Toney, Marquez, Valdez, Scantling. We got Justin Watson. We got Blake Bell. We got Travis Kelce, Noah Gray, Creed Humphrey, Orlando Brown Jr., Lucas Neong. Let's go to their defense. We got Frank Clark. Got Carlos Dunlap, George Karlaftis, Chris Jones. Playing pretty well. Deep boy? No, he's definitely not the deep boy, but been playing pretty well this year, man. Willie Gay. L'Jarius Sneed. We got a bunch of people. Justin Reed, Juan Thornhill. We'll go to the special teams. They have some good players as well. Bucker, Townsend, I think, is a Pro Bowler. Stuff like that, man. And now let's go look at the Bengals roster. Honestly, looked at this a little bit last week, but I just want to look at it again before we do our rankings, obviously, of the week. Let's look at the Bengals roster. Some highlights: we got Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine, maybe. Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Trenton Irwin. Let's go to tight end. You got Hayden Hurst. Right, O-line's not very good. Someone really to point out there. We go to their defense. We got Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson, B.J. Hill, D.J. Reader. We got a bunch of other people, right? We got Logan Wilson, Eli Apple, Mike Hilton, Trey Flowers, Jesse Bates III, Von Bell, bunch of other people, man. And honestly, I'm gonna do my rankings before the score predictions, but when we look at both these teams, man, let's look at what they did last week. First, the Cincinnati Bengals. Last week, the Cincinnati Bengals utterly dismantled the Buffalo Bills. They were able to keep Josh Allen in check. They were able to limit Devin Singletary, James Cook, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, and Gabe Davis. They're also able to throttle the Buffalo Bills defense, limit the effect of the defense. Burrow's O-line did hold, surprisingly. I don't expect to see that in the future, but they did hold well. And the way the Bengals offense played was very easy for them to knock off the Buffalo Bills touted, whatever, defense, right? They were able to limit the impact of Tremaine Edmonds, Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, Boogie Basham. Those players' impacts were not felt due to the validity and how well the Bengals offense really played. Right? So now let's look at what the Chiefs did last week, right? Let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs, what they did last week. Now, last week the Kansas City Chiefs did beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, although narrow, they still managed to beat them, okay? Patrick Mahomes coming off an injury, man, that high ankle sprain. And if you really think about it, man, keeping Mahomes' injury in and everything, that was the Jaguars game, man. That was the Jaguars game. Obviously, they ended up losing, but they went down the field, man, and Jamal Agnew did not fumble right there. I believe they would have scored a touchdown. I believe Christian Kirk would have got a touchdown, or Evan Ingram would have got a touchdown, right? And you think at that point in the game, there's maybe 3 minutes left. Maybe there's 4 minutes left, right? They have all 3 timeouts. Maybe they had 2 at that point. I really forget right now. They go score. If they get a stop, I see them coming down the field, similar with the Chargers game, and getting a touchdown to win or a field goal to tie. All right, the Kansas City Chiefs defense is not one to be looked at and put on a pedestal. In fact, their defense is not very good at all. Okay? Obviously, the Chiefs would have more effectively beaten them had Patrick Mahomes played, fully healthy. But obviously that's not always something that, you can choose. Now, let's talk about rankings. Okay, now usually with all the other games, this is how I rank them. I rank quarterbacks, running back rooms, or backfield. I rank the wide receiver rooms, rank the tight ends, rank the O-lines, the D-lines, and then the corners, safeties, linebackers. That's all in one. Right? So, let me rank that. Starting off, we got quarterbacks. I'm giving this to Joe Burrow. Reason I say I give this to Joe Burrow is, even if Patrick Mahomes is able to play next week, which he's definitely going to play, even if he's going to play, he says he's 100%, he is definitely not. High ankle sprain is usually 46 weeks, sometimes 3 to 5, obviously. And he's playing through that pain. Maybe it's not hurting him, but he's still going to be limited in his mobility. And after what I just saw from Joe Burrow last week, right, his connection with T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, Hayden Hurst, I have to give it to him. Now we go to the running back rooms, where I'm giving it again to the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, although, you got the speed and the pass catching of Jerick McKinnon, and you got the angry running of Isaiah Pacheco, the Cincinnati running back room was able to play really well against a good, highly ranked Buffalo Bills defense, whereas the Kansas City Chiefs running back room played okay against a decent defense in the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm always going to take Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine over Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon, at least for now, right? Even if Clyde Edwards-Helaire was there, I would still be taking this. Now we go to the wide receiver room, and there's no competition at all. It goes back to the Bengals, okay? The Bengals could just have Jamar Chase, and I would still give the wide receiver room to them, because Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, the best wide receiver trio in the NFL. You know who they're going up against? Juju Smith-Schuster. Who is that? No, I'm playing. Love you, bro. Not playing. Anyways, are going up against Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Sky Moore, Mecole Hardman. Didn't see much from last game, but I think he's there. And, many other players, man. Many other players, but none beat the three of Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Much clearly better. Stats do not lie. No matter what team you're a fan on, stats do not lie. So I'm giving them wide receivers. Tight end. Chiefs. But, compared to the wide receiver room, if the Bengals was a 10, the Chiefs would be a 2. Behind the Baltimore Ravens, I honestly think the Chiefs do not have that good of a wide receiver room. I think their wide receiver room is successful because Travis Kelce draws eyes from the defenders, and Patrick Mahomes makes plays and extends plays in order to get them open. Because when people are focusing on the other skill players, they happen to get open. Obviously, no hate to them. Maybe some of them are really good. I just haven't watched that many Chiefs games. I've watched, some of the primetime games, but not really that much. So I'm going to have to give this to the tight end, though, to the Chiefs, obviously. Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league. Best pass-catching tight end in the league. Best overall tight end has to be, George Kittle. He's got the blocking. He's got the really good pass-catching. And, yeah, I just have to give it to Travis Kelce, man. Hayden Hurst, not bad, but, he plays well. He's able to run routes. He's able to get open. But obviously, Travis Kelce is basically the wide receiver one on this team. Plays more receiver than blocking. Next, we're going to go to the offensive line position, where I laugh when I talk about offensive line and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, played a good team, man. They played a good defense. Fortunately, they did not play a great defense. All right. In this game, at least. In this game, they did not play a good defense. Now, before going into this week, when I did the matchup for the Bills versus the Bengals, I spoke on the importance of the Cincinnati O-line and how that would affect the decision, right? How that would affect my decision on this game and how that would affect the outcome of this game. And as I stated earlier, if the Bengals O-line finds a way to pull through, then that would help them greatly. Now, let's talk some science right now, right? If there's less traction on the field, you always give the advantage to the offensive lineman, right? The offensive linemen are not trying to dig their shoes in, make impact plays, make small cuts, make small turns in order to obviously beat their opposition. Whereas the defensive linemen are, trying to get a head start, trying to rush in, trying to get a lightning fast start, trying to make little cuts, little spins, little turns. And in the snowy weather in Buffalo, it's just not possible to make those types of turns. So although we may think that the Cincinnati Bengals O-line played perfectly, I don't think so. I think they played just okay, and the snowy conditions, slippery floor, helped the Bengals O-line. Excel. I did see some slipping by the Buffalo Bills defensive line. So O-line, I'm still gonna give this to the Chiefs, man. Creed Humphrey is a beast. The rest of them are a beast on that Chiefs offensive line. As you see, Josh Allen and the Trayvon Walker did not get any sacks on Patrick Mahomes, although they did force him out of the pocket earlier. I still think the Chiefs offensive line is better. Now let's go to the defensive line. Defensive line, I'm gonna make this a tie. Okay. I'm honestly going to make this a tie. Now, with the big names and everything, I'm tempted to give this to the Kansas City Chiefs. But the reason why I do not give this to the Chiefs is, against the Bills last week, the Bills had a pretty decent offensive line, yet I saw the Cincinnati defensive line dominate them with 3 rushers, with 4 rushers, sometimes with 5 rushers. But with 3 rushers, they were able to put pressure on Josh Allen towards the end of that game. And honestly, that really showed me that, whether it's the defensive coordinator that made the schemes, right, whether it's the linemen themselves, the Bengals' defensive line is something to be looked at and something to marvel at because they're pretty good, man. They are pretty good. Obviously, the Chiefs, you got Chris Jones and other players like that. Now, safeties and cornerbacks and linebackers. All right, let's scroll down here. Let's see who the linebackers are. We got Logan Wilson, right? Marcus Bailey, Keandre Jones, a bunch of people like that. Cornerbacks, Eli Apple. Eli Apple's probably the best cornerback on both teams, man. Then you say Trey Flowers. I'm giving this to the I'm giving this to Cincinnati Bengals, man. That's 5 for the Bengals. That is 5 for the Bengals, man. I'm giving this to the Cincinnati Bengals. They shut down Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox, Khalil Shakir, Cole Beasley, John Brown, Isaiah McKenzie. The list goes on. Versus the Kansas City defense, man, they did not really shut down Christian Kirk and Zay Jones and Marvin Jones Jr. and Evan Ingram. It was more like a mistake by Trevor Lawrence or a mistake by the receiver or an off timing. And whether defense forced that or not is obviously unclear to all of us, or especially me right here, right now. But I still think that the Chiefs, cornerback, safeties, linebackers are not better than the Bengals. Anyways, let's wrap it up right now, man. Let's just focus on the big picture. All right, I'm giving the Bengals the quarterback. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is injured. That's why I'm giving it to them. Otherwise, I would have to give the edge to Patrick Mahomes, but maybe it would be a tie. Who knows? Running back room, obviously to the Bengals, man. Obviously to the Bengals. Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine, definitely better than Pacheco and McKinnon. Not by that much, though. It's closer than you may think. Wide receiver room, obviously the Bengals. All right, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd are better than Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Sky Moore, Mecole Hardman, whoever you want to throw in there. Tight end, Kansas City Chiefs. That's what they got their first point. Tight end, Travis Kelce is better than Hayden Hurst, man. He is the wide receiver 1 of this Chiefs team. He helped them get the number 1 seed. Without him, I do not see the Chiefs being a number 1 seed. I see them being a number 5 or number 6 or number 7 seed in the playoffs. Hayden Hurst not that far, but Travis Kelce is always better. Next, we go to the offensive line. I have to give that to the Chiefs, man. After the atrocious performance I saw last week from the I'm not going to say atrocious performance last week, but I'm just going to say in general, right, the Cincinnati Bengals O-line is not that good. It's not that good. Last week, because of the footing, they were able to play well, but in general, not that good. For all those reasons, I'm going to give it to the Kansas City Chiefs, and I gave a tie to the defensive lines of the Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs because of what I saw last week, man. The Bengals defensive line played well, played really well, played really, 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 really well. And, the Kansas City Chiefs defensive line is just something we looked at. Chris Jones and some others. And so score predictions, man. The score predictions for this game, 35 Bengals, 31 Kansas City. Here's the stat lines. Here's just my predicting stat lines, okay? Joe Burrow, I'm looking at about 315 pass yards, 4 touchdowns. And for Patrick Mahomes, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at about 350 pass yards with 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. That interception is going to be the difference maker. All right, make sure to leave a like and subscribe on the video if you're brand new to the channel. And at the end, boys, it's me, Drew. We out. Peace. Just remember, 35 Cincinnati Bengals, 31 Kansas City.